وأتم التسليم على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. So the six things that the fast of the select requires for their fasting to be accepted. We mentioned in the previous session the first one, which is to lower one's gaze and not to distract oneself with looking at things that distract them from other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and from akhirah. Sawmul lisan. The second one is to have this tongue fast. And the Imam is saying حفظ اللسان عن الهذيان والكذب والغيبة والنميمة والفحش والجفاء والخصومة والمراء وإلزام والسكوت. And that requires that you abstain, you hold back your tongue from hadayan, to just talk nonsense, lying, ghiba, backbiting, namima, to spread news, bad news, to cause problems between people, والفحش, يعني low speech, bad speech, if you know what I mean, والجفاء, and to harm, to يعني use the tongue to sharp, to be mean to people, والخصومة, and to fight, والمراء, and to argue, and to إلزامه السكوت, and to force one's tongue to be quiet, to be silent. وشغله بذكر الله سبحانه وتعالى وتلاوة القرآن, and to keep one's tongue busy with Allah's remembrance and the recitation of Holy Quran. That is Sawmul Lisan. This, as we mentioned, is the real Sawm of Lisan. May Allah grant us, Ya Rabbi, in this holy month to restrain our tongues. وقد قال سفيان, and Sayyidina Sufyan said, Al-ghibatu tufsidu as-sawm, that backbiting will corrupt one's fast. رواه بشر بن الحارث عنه, and Sayyidina Bishr ibn al-Harith narrated this from him. وروى ليث عن مجاهد, and Sayyidina Layth narrated from Sayyidina Mujahid. خصلتان يفسدان الصيام الغيبة والكذب, two things that will corrupt one's fasting, and that is ghiba, backbiting, and lying. قال صلى الله عليه وسلم إنما الصوم جنة, that fasting is like a protection. فإن كان أحدكم صائما فلا يرفث ولا يجهل وإن امرؤ قاتله أو شتمه فليقل إني صائم. That Sayyidina Muhammad صلى الله عليه وسلم said that يعني fasting is a safeguard, is a protection. If one of you is fasting, so he should not speak ill, and he should not speak ignorantly. لا يجهل means to overstep one's transgress against people. وإن امرؤ قاتله, and if a person fights with him, or شاتمه, or curses him, فليقل إني صائم إني صائم, let him say, I am fasting, I am fasting. وجاء في الخبر, and in the khabar, in it's told أن امرأتين صامتا على عهد النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم, and that two ladies were fasting in the time of Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم. فأجهدهم الجوع والعطش في آخر النهار, they were completely exhausted by the end of the day from not eating and not drinking, from being thirsty, until they felt like they were going to die. فبعثتا إلى رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يستأذنانه في الإفطار, so they sent someone to Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم asking him permission to grant them to break their fast. فأرسل إليهما قدحا وقال صلى الله عليه وسلم, he sent for them a bowl or a jug, and he said to them, he told his messenger, say to them, قيئا في ما أكلتما, throw up in it what you ate. فقالت إحداهما نصفه دما عبيطا ولحما غريضا وقالت الأخرى مثل ذلك. So one of them filled half of it with blood and raw meat, and the other one did the same. until it became full. فعجب الناس من ذلك, and people were surprised to see this. ف... ف... فقال صلى الله عليه وسلم هاتان صامتا عما أحل الله لهما وأفطرتا على ما حرم الله تعالى عليهم. And Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم said, these two ladies, they fasted from what Allah made halal to them, because eating regular food is halal. To eat food in general is halal, other than pork or maita, it is halal. And to drink water is halal. So Prophet ﷺ said they have actually abstained and fasted from halal, and they actually spend their time eating haram. With what? He said قعدت he said they sat together and they started backbiting people. فهذا ما أكلتا منهم, and what they threw up is what they ate from what they backbit them, what from their flesh. Allah. Look at this hadith and look at our condition. Yani astaghfirullah, we are immersed in this sewage that shaitan has prepared for us, called social media and WhatsApp and Facebook and so forth. And we spend our time now. You don't need anybody to sit with it. This lady had to sit with her friend to backbite somebody. Now you can do it from anywhere, just through texting and messaging and posting. We can be spreading rumors or backbiting. May Allah يحفظنا يا رب. اللهم عافنا. So this is the second requirement. The third requirement is صوم السمع. The third requirement is to fast, for the ears to fast. And that is to كف السمع عن الإصغاء إلى مكروه. And that is to stop your ears from listening to anything disliked by Allah, because لأن كل ما حرم قوله حرم الإصغاء إليه. Because whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forbid you to say, He also forbid you to listen to. And this is a misconception that people have, and sometimes we do it out of not upsetting the other person, and sometimes we are shy to speak up. But the fact is, even if you sit with somebody and you don't say anything and you just listen to their haram speech, you are committing haram by listening. So there's no shyness in this. If we have to, even if that person will be upset with you, you have to say, I don't want to hear it. Or you have to say, please, let's talk about something else. We don't want to lose our hasanat. لذا سوى الله عز وجل بين المستمع وآكل السحت. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has equal between the eating of haram and to listening to haram sustenance and to listening to haram speech. He made them equal. So you are consuming with your ears haram speech as you are consuming haram food. He made them equal. سمعون, he said in Surah Al-Ma'idah, واستعذ بالله, سمعون للكذب أكالون للسحت. They hear the lies and they eat what is forbidden. وقال عز وجل لولا ينهاهم الربانيون والأحبار عن قولهم الإثم وأكلهم السحت. And he said in another verse, had it been that the Rabbaniyun, the lordly servants, the servants that are pious Rabbaniyun, wal ahbar, and their priests, their learned ones, had they prevented them from eating from sin and أكلهم السحت. فالسكوت عن الغيبة حرام. So if you sit there quietly and listen to somebody backbiting another person, it is haram. وقال تعالى إنكم إذا مثلهم. He said, if you sit in such company, even you don't say anything, you are like them. If you're just by listening. لذا قال صلى الله عليه وسلم المغتاب والمستمع شريكان في الإثم. Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم said in a hadith that the one who is backbiting and the one who is listening to the one who is backbiting are partners in sin. And the fourth thing is صوم بقية الجوارح, and is to also to fast with all of our other faculties from sin, and that is our hands and our feet from these that things that are forbidden and disliked. And so don't do anything that is displeasing with Allah with your hand. Also, don't do anything, don't go anywhere, don't use your feet to go somewhere that Allah doesn't like. وكف البطن عن الشبهات وقت الإفطار, and to refrain from anything that you're not certain of its whether it is halal or not to at the time of iftar. So he's saying because يعني, at the time of iftar there's absolutely no point of you fasting all day from halal and then at the end of day you break your fast with something that is haram. So one should be vigilant and prudent to make sure that their food is halal at the end of the day, that they're eating only halal food. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد. ثم الإفطار فمثال هذا الصائم مثال من يبني قصرا ويهدم مصرا. So he's saying that the example of such a person who fasts from halal and then breaks their fast on haram is like the one who builds a castle and then destroys the whole town. فإن طعام الحلال إنما يضر بكثرته لا بنوعه. So he says that the halal food will only harm you if you excessively eat. If you eat more than your capacity, will harm you. فإن طعام الحلال إنه يضر بكثرته لا بنوعه. Not with the type of food, but يعني it doesn't matter what kind of food you eat if you eat it in a balanced way. But if you excessively eat, it will harm you. It's the quantity. فالصوم لتقليله. So fasting should يعني the whole point of fasting is that not to feed our nafs what it likes. So the whole point is to eat less. وتارك الاستكثار من الدواء خوفا من ضرره. And the one who leaves taking too much medicine, he's giving another example, as you take too much, you're afraid of taking too much medicine because you're afraid it will harm you, but you go and take poison. يعني doesn't show you are a person of mind. And that poison is haram. يعني you leave the halal and you break your fast on haram. والحرام سم مهلك للدين. And consuming haram is a poison that will destroy your faith. والحلال دواء ينفع قليله ويضر كثيره. As for halal, it is a medicine that taken in measure, it is very beneficial, but too much of it will harm you. So we have to be careful. Yani this is something that is very important. The sunnah of breaking one's fast is to eat few dates or drink some water and then go and pray. And then the purpose of that, as was stated by some scholars, is that your body is low on sugar. And if you sit at the table at that time and start eating all kinds of food at that time, you are going to overeat because you're hungry, your sugar is low, and you're going to go for it fully and fill your tummy so quickly. So the wisdom of actually eating a few dates is that, and going to pray, it'll take you 10-15 minutes, is that in that time your blood sugar should be regulated. So when you come back to eat, you have more restraint to eat little, not to eat too much, not to go completely uh, attack the food as we do in Ramadan. وقد قال صلى الله عليه وسلم كم من صائم ليس له من صومه إلا الجوع والعطش. He said, Prophet ﷺ said, how many person who is fasting that he does not get out of his fast except being thirsty and hungry. فقيل, and it was said in the explanation of this hadith, فقيل هو الذي يفطر على الحرام وقيل هو الذي لا يحفظ جوارحه عن الآثام. And it is said that that person is the one who breaks their fast on haram sustenance, and it was also said that it is the one who does not safeguard his senses and his jawarih from sin. And we will, inshallah, stop here. The fifth one is he will go in description about not to eat too much food when one breaks their fast. inshallah we'll explain that next time. ومن الله التوفيق بحرمة الحبيب حرمة الفاتحة. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.